Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. Happy, what is it, Monday? Feels like a Sunday. I don't know why I keep thinking that. Either way, happy Monday to you. We're going to take another look here at Rndr token, see what's going on, help you understand, ideally, what's going to happen next. We're still honoring this ascending trend. It is moving within this range that I expected, which is very nice to see. Again, makes perfect sense considering Bitcoin's behavior, but you got to recognize Bitcoin's kind of on the edge of 27,000. We lose that support level. It's hard to say what will happen next for altcoins, but Rndr's holding strong, just as a few others are as well. But majority of altcoins are bleeding out, and the main reason why, too, just so you understand, is the fact that Bitcoin dominance is starting to come up a little bit. It's fairly plateaued, but for lack of better terms, you typically want to see, in order for altcoins to increase, you want to see Bitcoin dominance come down. But Bitcoin right now is trying to rally back from that 27,000 dip, and we're going to see kind of what happens. So obviously we're going to focus on Rndr, but just know that that is the focus. In general, it's really important to recognize what's going on with Bitcoin and the pairing that it has with altcoins. Okay, same with Rndr in that case, and no coin is exempt from understanding how Bitcoin is performing. Because if Bitcoin's having a bad day, it's rare for coins to have a great day. Minus Floki right now, which is actually taking off. Covered that earlier today, of course. A lot of it's fundamental based, with them getting a gold badge on Twitter and potentially being released on some larger exchanges. So either way, we're here for Rndr. Sorry, I keep distracting that. So what we're going to look at here, of course, is some standard stuff. We are bouncing off 70 on the RSI, sort of. The one thing I want to recognize is that we have a MACD divergence officially now. That does imply that the shift in momentum has shifted from bullish to bearish. This is more of a swing trader's tool. Don't get me wrong, it's not to say intraday that price could come up, but overall it would be expected for the price to come down. Now this is a chart here that I have from before, expecting the price to bounce upwards, but that's pending Bitcoin doing well and actually hitting 28,000 or higher. So we can probably remove that and double check and just redraw a new level based on other things. But now that we are diverging on the MACD, there's a great chance we could see the price action decrease in value. Keep in mind too, with our moving averages, we are ascending in all three. So we're above all three. That's a very positive sign. Not a lot of altcoins can say that right now. So with us maintaining price above the 20-day SMA, that's a really important thing. You can see the 50-day SMA working itself concurrent with the trend line, which is very standard, but generally speaking, we lose that 20-day SMA, we're absolutely going to see this ascending trend retested. If we lose that trend, we can expect the price to become bearish and to flip to the downside. Okay, but between now and then, we're still looking good, higher highs and higher lows. For the most part, we're mostly good, right? There's just that ominous MACD divergence on the daily. Let's see what the 4-hour tells us. We have a coincidentally MACD convergence on the 4-hour, and this is the indicator that I like to use a little bit more effectively for swing trades. I hold swing trades anywhere from a couple of days to a couple of weeks, and if you're trading in that time frame, less than a month, longer than a day essentially, then this is a very positive indication telling us the overall shift in momentum is bullish and we should expect the price to continue higher. Keep in mind, we're also retesting 50 on the RSI. That's a very positive sign too. Once we break above that, we should effectively stay above. Keep in mind too, you look at its history, anytime it stays above 50 on the RSI, the price does wondrous things, right? So we could very well see a rinse and repeat. Basically, this could happen again right here, okay? And that's, of course, if we break above 70 on the RSI, or correction, 50 on the RSI for starters, 70 is another conversation. Okay, one thing at a time. So anyways, the 4-hour time frame looks pretty bullish here for the most part. We do have the 50-day SMA kind of trending above the price action. I don't love that, but there's more, again, more weight in the other things that we see here that are positive. But I'm looking for a closure today to establish higher highs at 181 or higher. If we can get up there and kind of stay up there, then I would consider a potential long position here for Rndr. I'm going to set an alert so we can check that out a little bit later. Take a look at the 1 hour really quick just to kind of summarize here. Fairly straightforward. When we're range bound, which we have been for, roughly 3 trading days, the Ichimoku cloud doesn't give you a lot of positive signs. Good news is we're above the cloud, but all the other 2 factors don't really help, so we don't have a lot of confirmation there. I like to look at TD sequential and kind of see if we're overextended, which we're not. So in truth, when you don't have a lot of confirmational signs, you kind of base it on higher highs and higher lows. We can see that we are making slightly higher lows and parallel highs. That implies that we have a potential type of ascending wedge pattern. Now keep in mind, since we came from the upside, there is potential for the price to break down. There is definitely that potential, especially with Bitcoin kind of riding the lightning at 27,000. To me personally, taking a long position with any altcoin seems very risky. So I would just kind of avoid, maybe consider dollar cost averaging. In fact, let's see if there is anything on Elliott wave that tells us how much lower the price could go. Let's go ahead and remove these previous Fibonacci retracement levels and just kind of get perspective here. I'll send this through my Twitter too. And by the way, if you could please help us grow the Twitter community. We've got a tremendous amount of fundamental and technical data coming out here and a lot of good stuff to know. Keep in mind also, I sent this out earlier today. It's really important to recognize that we have, there's KYC requirements for this is your Bybit, and I would recommend pivoting over to either BitGet or MEXC Global. I have links on my homepage for owner partners as well as here as well. They're really good alternatives. In fact, my personal opinion, BitGet's the best. They have good level 2 data. They have trading competitions frequently. And if you see here, we also have a giveaway, of course. If you're to use that link to essentially confirm your registration, you get cashback bonus, and of course I'll go ahead and help you out with a trial membership there to kind of see how that feels. Okay, so either way, cool stuff there in that sense, just something to check out. And if we take a look here, of course, at Rndr, we can see these levels here, and I'll go ahead and just say them out loud. $1.50, $1.28, and 92 cents. Those would be some dollar cost average targets. Okay, so I'll draw out some new Fibonacci retracement levels and put this out on Twitter, of course, to make sure you can kind of stay abreast on that. I cover this fairly regularly, but generally speaking, I still pretty bullish on Rndr token, the overall sense of things. But if the price pulls back to that level, it wouldn't be a bad place to add to your position. Okay, so again, looking pretty decent there in the overall sense. I think we're not terrible, not in bad shape. There's mostly bullish behavior here, but you do got to recognize that trading day is not over. Bitcoin kind of hanging out in the low 27 range could spell disaster for small coins, and Rndr is no exception, even though it's doing fairly well considering most other coins. Obviously not as well as Floki, but this is a different story altogether. All right, so be sure to check all this out, available once again on our Twitter. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me here. We'll see you all in the next one. Take care.